1,000,000 stars twinkle in the dark sky above this young world. Civilization here has carved out its first footholds, but much of the world lies unexplored and teeming with the primal forces of nature and magic and life. It's a world that breathlessly awaits an age of adventure so that it may begin to discover itself. We begin our story racing westward over a vast inland sea, its smooth, dark water mirroring the sky above, broken only occasionally by an errant whitecap. Ahead, a towering range of limestone mountains fills the horizon, looming larger and larger as we approach. Spread across the cliffs and valleys of the mountains, clustered points of light begin to appear. Not the cold starlight of the night sky above, but the warm, welcoming light of hearths and lanterns and homes. Our focus shifts to the coastline, where the mountains meet the sea. There, a crescent-shaped port is filled with light and the distant sound of music and song. We pass over 24 ships gently swaying in the harbor, rigging festooned with streamers and flags, their crews dancing to bawdy songs and lifting mugs of ale. As we leave the anchored ships behind us, our focus shifts to the dock and port where the celebrations are magnified tenfold. Colorful tents color every street corner. Banners of every shape and size flow off ships' rigging and shoreside balconies alike. Raucous music of a dozen different styles competes for attention as masked and costumed citizens jostle for space on overcrowded thoroughfares. And at the center of it all, the storied ship of legend, the Whale's Whiskered, newly refitted and dressed out like she was queen of the carnival. Mithril accents polished and gleaming, chains of hundreds of colorful lanterns, creating the illusion of rainbow-colored sails. The Whiskers and her captain is why they've all come, for this is their grand finale. As we fly in over the Whale's Whiskers, we see it on deck, a brass dragonborn fussily conducting the lights of the sails in a coordinated display of illumination, radiant fire, and sound, sometimes startling even himself with the loud cracks of thunder he produces and having to adjust his wide-rimmed spectacles from overexuberance. Up amongst the rigging, we see a large white golden retriever with iridescent eagle wings flying in laps around the sails and barking with true joy only a good dog can express as they spin and chase the display of colors back and forth and up and down the length of the ship. So we exit the ship out onto the streets, where the crowd gapes in wonder at the Whale's Whiskers and children giggle delightedly as the celestial hound dives down to steal pets and scritches from their outstretched hands. Behind them, the teeming crowd flows by, stopping only to grab some tasty treat or other flagon of ale or frothy sugar-filled libation. Many are drawn down the street to the marvels on display by an odd-looking lizardman. Clockwork wonders of all shapes and sizes crowd and spill off his small stage, scuttling under the feet of the spectators to their amazement and delight. Inventions that wander too far are quickly chased down by a large mechanical crab to be delivered back to the stage. There, the wayward inventions are chided for their carelessness and set back down. Nearby, everyone's attention is drawn to the thunderous spectacle of an enormous Luxodon surrounded by giant sets of pan flutes, shaking the ground with his booming stomps and filling the air with confetti and ribbons as he plays the pipes with his trunk and dances with carefree abandon, lost in his own triumphant music and songs. As we travel further down the locks, we see that smoke as it billows out of a dark, mysterious tent, where the brave, or foolish, wait to hear their future. Many of those exiting the tent are comforted by loved ones as they sob, having heard their dark fate or impending doom. Some are chased out by a grim-faced sapphire dragonborn, chiding them for their old foolishness and lack of direction in their life. He storms back into the tent, demanding the next in line to enter as they shy away from his smoke-filled darkened door. Many fleeing the tent find solace in the beauty found in the arena set up at the port's town square. The space overflows with a lush jungle brimming with flowers. In central stage, a drow druid showcases all the fantastical dinosaurs they have encountered in their journey here from the northern continent. This is the Whale's Whiskers exposition. But to one person, all the spectacle fades away, because this is how she is saying goodbye. Viriana Brightbangs, from a dark balcony, looks out over all she has created over the last 6 centuries of her life, and she can't help but be swept up in a wistful nostalgia. This is closing night of the greatest show this world has ever known, and tomorrow she heads out on her last voyage. It is well past midnight, and with a deep sigh, she heads back into the street to check in with their crew.